welcome. We have a song for you in just a minute. Let me go ahead and check to make sure that we are live first. All right. Let me do a quick song for okay, the mic is working. I just want to do a quick mic check on that. And just wanted to welcome everybody. Hopefully the commercials have already started and finished. Well, hold on one second. Let me check one more thing before we get really started. Hold on. All right. Always something. All right, let me see if I did that right. Hang with me, guys, just a second here. All right. I think we're live, and I think that looks good. Well, hello, everybody. It's so good to see you in the chat. I had a wonderful time talking with one of my children before going live, and I kept saying, I've got to go. And anyway, so a couple things just kind of got left to the last second, literally. But last week, our super chat exceeded the $100 mark, so we were able to donate $105 to what's the name of it? Shriners Hospital for Children. So on our behalf, so thank you so much. Last year, we were able to, by the grace of God, together we were able to donate over $1,200 to just that one organization. I don't have the total yet for Rancho 3M, but probably at least another $1,000 there. So thank you guys for what we were able to do. We are small, we're little, we know that, but being little matters, and what little bit that we can do may not make a difference to everybody in the world, but it makes a difference to at least one or two others. So thank you, gosh, and thank you so much, everybody, for helping. And I went ahead and dusted off an existing song that I did a while back. So maybe you don't remember it. If you guys saw me in Pittsburgh, this may sound familiar, but I wanted to kind of redeem a song by Eric Clapton. He made popular many years ago. You'll probably hear it. It's about kind of an illicit drug, but we just changed the meaning a little bit, and it's about something that we all love instead. So anyway, here we go. And just clarification, not a professional singer here, but again, we don't let that stop us. We're still going to have fun. So let's see if I get my fingers all set. All right. When you're down and out, you've got to take it out. Crochet. To town, but you need to sit down. Crochet. Yawn your bye, yawn your bye, yawn your bye. I hope you enjoy that. That's one of my favorites. Love listening to some of Eric Clapton's music. And again, Eric, I'm so sorry for what I just did there. But we're just crocheters and we like to have fun. And especially when there's such a generous group like you guys out there. Again, not soliciting funds or anything like that, but should you feel inclined to ever donate to the Super Chat, just know that the next round, up to 100, we'll be going to the Rancho 3M. It's a Christian orphanage and school, and it's located in Juarez, Mexico. Again, one of the poorest sections I've ever visited in my entire life. They're doing a fantastic work there, and I'm just thrilled to be able to be at a point in my life where we can really support what they're doing there. And that's been something that we've wanted to support ever since my first publication came out back in 2009. So really excited about that. Well, let me go ahead and say hey to you folks. I mean, lots of people in the chat today. Wow. Let me go ahead and start from the very beginning, and I'm going to reset to the live chat so I don't miss anybody. Kelly, it's so good to see you. First one up here. And Terry, it's good to see you. She says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, in the community. Pray all is well. Spring has sprung in South Dakota. In one day, temp went from 62 to 79, working on temperature blanket. Yeah, that'll make a nice little stripe in your temperature blanket for sure, Terry. Yeah, I am looking outside. The sun is shining. I may shed this long sleeve shirt in a little bit, maybe after the chat. I really need to wash my car today. It's been a while, and it's been driven in a lot of salt, a lot of sandy, salty roads here and in Pittsburgh and beyond. So I'm looking forward to just really trying to knock off a lot of that so it doesn't turn into a major rust bucket, if you know what I mean. Archer Nace, again, thank you for your generosity. $20, my goodness. She says, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate your generosity there. And going to the Rancho 3M once we hit our next goal. And Lynn, so good to see you in the chat. And Alana, she says, hi, y'all. Condolences and birthday wishes are due today. Blessings to both of you. Oh, how sweet. Did I miss something there? Let me make sure I didn't miss something. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but anyway. And Love to Craft, it's good to see you in the chat. And Wanda Gordon, oh, thank you. Okay, so Wanda, what's going on, Wanda? Kelly is praying for your family. Did I miss something? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it. Or Wanda, you can let me know, okay? Okay, Lynn says, happy birthday to Sandra. Yay. Well, happy birthday, Sandra. And let's see. Ooh, and thank you guys for praying for Kelly. That is so kind of you. And Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor. Everybody's wishing Sandra happy birthday. That's so great. Happy birthday. And Jacqueline says, good morning from a beautiful day in Los Angeles. Wow. I bet it is nice there. The little bit of time that I got to spend in LA was really great. Hannah and I got to go to Disneyland for a day while my husband worked really hard at his conference. So that was fun. We just kind of tagged along and kept him company. And Swati, it's good to see you in the chat, Swati. And okay, and Horrid Henry, official UTTP, okay, says, my account is pretty good. Well, thank you, Horrid Henry. What a clever name. Can't pretend to know the acronym, but that's okay. And Hannah, so good to see you, my dear. Okay, I haven't gotten any questions direct from Hannah. I'm just checking, Hannah. I do need to, let me slide this over a little bit more so I don't miss anything from you, my dear. We have Paula's Crocheted Creations by Tori Pep. Well, it's good to have you. I don't think I've seen you all here before, so welcome to our channel. And Beth, it's good to see you. Give the kitties a scratch on the head from me. And Robin and Stephanie and let's see. And Denise, it's good to see you in the chat as well. And Carol and Donna from Ohio, and Sandra from a very windy, is it Beaumont, California? Wow, I hope I said that right. um, and Sandra, my friend from Georgia, it's good to see you. Sandra, we got to do lunch again sometime, my friend. And Oh, Wanda says, little is much when God is in it. Amen to that, you know? Um, amen to that. I don't know what I would do if I had a ton of stuff, you know what I mean? It's just a lot more responsibility. But yeah, a little, yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're talking about like in giving, you know, just a little is can be a lot. You're absolutely right, one. I love that. And airline Shank, is it? Oh no, I'm sorry, Arline. I need to get my eyes fixed, huh? Arline, if I'm saying that right, Arline Shank. It's good to have you in the chat. I think that's a new name for me. And Hannah's just sent me our first question from Beach Girl. Genevieve says, I think, okay, she's asking about a specific yarn. Genevieve, I'm not exactly sure what kind of yarn that you're referring to, so I would have to look that up and get back to you on that. So if you don't mind sending me an email to bonniebay@me.com, this is to the beach girl. I would be glad to have a conversation with you once I become educated on what that yarn is, but I'm not familiar with what you're referring to at the moment. So sorry there, dear. There are thousands of yarns out there, and I am so finite in how many I've actually interacted with. So I'm always meeting new yarns that are my friends. Actually, I have some to introduce to you today. Actually, a new yarn, which is kind of an old yarn, but a new yarn. But anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's see. Oh, we have Bobby Curry from Texas. It's good to see you. We had a great time visiting Texas last year in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All except for the tornado outbreak. It was great. And let's see, we have Teresa in the chat. And oh, thank you guys for the comments on the song. That was fun. Yeah, we try to redeem the thing about, you know, the original song was about cocaine, obviously, but yeah, that was actually a great song because I think just talking about the ill effects, but it's kind of fun to change it up a little bit and make something that we love and all crochet. But okay, hold on a second. I just need to talk to my administrator about something. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, I'm very limited on my admins. I pretty much am sticking with those that I know really well, which is my daughter right now. So thank you guys for any offers of help. I really need to kind of have a relationship with you in order to grant that kind of, you know, that kind of control. That just, yeah. So thanks in advance for your understanding there. Thank you, Hannah, for explaining that. You did a marvelous job, my dear. And Anne Marie, it's good to have you from New Bedford, Massachusetts. I know where that is because my first year of marriage, we actually lived in Massachusetts. And we lived in Andover, outside of Boston, right just south of the New Hampshire line. It was a very adventurous year that year. Oh, Catherine, it's good to have you back. She says, hi, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. It's been a while since I caught a live. Good. So glad that you can be here, Catherine. I know people have lives and lots of stuff's going on now that we're kind of in a post-COVID world. Thank the good Lord. And we have Heidi. Oh, aren't you sweet? And thank you for being in our chat. I don't know that I've seen you in the live chat before. So welcome to our channel if this is your first time. And Red Hook, it's good to see you again. And let's see, and Bobby Curry, thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you Thank you guys for your kind applause. Thank you, Phil. And Wanda, thank you, thank you. And up Judy from Brazelton, Georgia. It's good to have you. Good to have you there. Um, hold on. Okay. Um, let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to follow this chat, and I just had a lot of things load at the same time. Hannah just sent me another question from Sandra. Says, I bought a set of crochet hooks and the case from a charity shop today in the UK. The make is Aero, Aero. Has anyone used or heard of them? I have not, Sandra. Um, I may have heard the name long, long time ago, but I'm just not familiar. You can always take a picture of the hook, of the head part, and send it to me, and I'd love to see if they're inline hooks or whether they're tapered hooks. Um, that's always a curiosity for me. If I can find other brands of hooks that are made in the inline style, I'm all in. So I mean, I currently, I've always loved Susan Bates hooks, mainly because of the shape, not because of the company or the brand or anything, but the shape of the hook, the way it's just designed. But there are other companies that make inline hooks. That could be one of them. I don't know. It'd be fun to see. If anybody else in the chat knows, please let us know about those. Um, I don't know anything about them. Ah, okay. I think I found where I was. And Kelly wants to know what we have for you all today. Well, besides the song, let's see. Let me show you. I forgot to put this up. I got to forget something. Can't have my act together totally. um, just to show you again, this is a set that has been up on the channel for a couple of weeks now. The braided scarf and the hat are doing fairly well. I've learned this week that scarves do better than hats. I think maybe it's because of the nature of hats being more fitted, and I think fitted items just in general tend to scare crocheters a little bit more than just straight up, rectangular things like scarves, blankets, baby blankets, and things like that. So I have noted that, but I'm still going to be releasing a lot of scarves and a lot of fitted things as well as we go forward. So anyway, the braided hat and scarf has been on my channel, and again, doing well. I'll put that in the basket there. Another thing, I got the yarn in the mail, the color that I was telling you about last week. This is the color that I am dedicating to my spring, summer Afghan throw that I'm hoping to design in the next month or two. I honestly don't know what it's going to look like yet, but I have 20 of these to make it with. And just to let you guys know, the Paint Box Yarns is still on sale at Lovecrafts. I do have a link to their Paint Box Yarn in my video description. It is an affiliate link, which means if you click on it, I benefit in a very small way, but the price is always the same to you, if that makes sense. So you're not penalized in any way, shape, or form if you ever click on people's affiliate links. It just, again, it helps support people like me in a small way, not a huge way, but so don't ever feel obligated to click on that. But it's always good to clarify about the affiliate links once in a while. And I'm not afraid to share that and tell you that I do use those. I do benefit a little bit from that, and I'm thankful for that benefit that the companies will share in that way. Yeah, so what else do I have for you? Oh, let me show you something right off the bat. This is something, I don't remember having shown this to you, so this might be the first time. I don't remember. This is the Playful Popcorn Scarf. Does that look crazy or what? It is a totally asymmetrical scarf, so when you wear it, it can be worn as a shawl as well. You would, simply wrap it around like this as a scarf. You can also wear it as an asymmetrical shawl, And let me get it a little bit closer. And you can tell that the popcorns are pretty random, and that's hence the word playful. And this can be made with any what they call planned pooling yarn. I found this yarn and saw a knitted version, not with popcorn, but with something else. And I thought that would look great with popcorn. So that's what I did. And so what happens, it's one of these things that you start you start down here, and I just started with the ribbing, and then I let one side of it grow, you know, asymmetrically. And whenever once you get to the past the ribbing part, whenever you come to the yarn that's different from the main color, you make popcorns, big popcorns. And that's pretty much all you do. So I do have a pattern available for this in my Lovecraft store. It's there right now. The video won't be released until mid-March. So this is coming in March. I just wanted to give you a heads up. And I've been in touch with the yarn dyer. Her name is Sandy, and she has a company called Cozy Color Works, and there is a video link. There's a link to her site in the video description below. And if you guys have a hard time getting to that, let me if you look below the video, and you'll see it says check out Bonnie's ad-free videos at blah blah blah, and then it says show more. If you click on show more, the box below opens up and you'll see all these links I'm talking about. I know a lot of times people have a hard time seeing the links. If you're watching on the phone, it's going to be like a little triangle, and you click on that and then you'll see a box open up. But I had a delightful time working with this. And when you look at the prices in her store, keep in mind, check out the number of yards that you're getting as well, because this is not your typical 400 yard hank. This had, I believe, well over 600. I don't want to quote the exact number of yards because I will be wrong, but I know it was over 600 or more yards of material, and it was just one hank that was dyed the same way. So you're not having to, mix, combine different hanks. Now, if you look for and tell her Bonnie sent you. Tell her Bonnie says hi when you contact her about that. She does have, I think, she has at least a dozen or so in her store right now. So I'm just telling you about this in case you want to be prepared for March. And this is nice. This is nice. I just love the vibrant colors when I was working with this. It made me happy. And but if you wanted to check out some other sites for this, just look up planned pooling, and maybe like on the Etsy site, because I know they do have some others. If you're looking for other colors for this, I don't know how well it would work, because it would probably be fine. But just keep in mind that this is in the ballpark of about 600 yards. So you're going to need more than 400 unless you just want to make the scarf smaller. So usually when you buy this superwash specially dyed yarn and hanks, it's like between 400 and 435 yards in a hank. And again, this is just a particularly big one. So and also watch followers, I'm going to try to get this up this weekend. So this will be on the channel with the PDF for you, the complimentary PDF. So, and if anybody's interested in joining my watch channel, you can watch my best content. There's exclusive content that does not go public on some other designs. I'm going to be bringing another sweater to that channel probably in the spring. That'll be and I'm also working on a poncho the alpaca poncho is going to be an exclusive watch design. And what all that means is that if you want to watch the video and you're not a member, it's still okay. You can purchase the pattern, and the pattern will have a link to an unlisted way to watch the video. But if you're already a watch member, it'll be a complimentary thing, so you don't have to purchase anything anywhere else. So for that particular design. So anyway, these are things that are coming in the spring to the watch channel. I did release a new video this week for my watch channel. It was on one of the side trips when I was on that trip during the fall. And ironically, talking about Turkey, it was in Turkey. I was in Turkey back in November. No, it was October, late October. So I was able to see how silk is taken from cocoons and spun just right there before my eyes. And I did some filming of that. The audio is questionable, but you can still hear what's going on. And this man just explained what they're doing and how they use that in making their beautiful, gorgeous Turkish rugs. So again, it's a behind the scenes special that I have for my watch channel only. If you're interested in that, it's $6.95 a month. And again, you have access to many complimentary patterns and material that's just not on my designs that are not on my public channel. It's not all, just to be clear, you don't get all the patterns, because if there's anything like, for example, the winter white throw that I released recently on my YouTube channel, I don't own the rights to the pattern. That's owned by Leisure Art. So I obviously can't give you a complimentary pattern because it's not my property to give, if that makes sense. So there are some of those designs, if the pattern is not there, it's most likely because I don't own the copyright to it. But the ones where I do own it, which is everything that I'm doing from this point on, you will get the complimentary download. So I just want to be clear about that. And if you sign up for a year, you actually get 2 months free. So that the price reflects that in the sign up process. Okay, enough of that. So anyway, I am excited about this one though. I'm really really excited about the happy colors. Let me get back to reading Hannah's question. Okay, Deborah wants to know, do I have any scrap yarn projects? She recently organized her craft room and has a ton. She's looking for a texturized pattern and wants to know what's a good size. Okay, that's a lot. It's a loaded question. There are, let me see. I think you'd have to look through to see what you would want to use scrap yarn, and it depends on what kind of scrap yarn. Is it worsted weight, like number 4? If you have sock weight yarn leftovers, the Mediterranean Waves scarf would be a really good. Hannah, send a minute. Okay, I see Hannah. Yeah, that would be a really good scarf project. If you're looking for a large blanket project, I would check out the baby blanket section, because some of those can be made using either number 4, number 3, even number 2, depending on what you want to do. Really, any of those, the granny square and around baby blankets work well for that. I have many sampler. Bonnie's Mystery Throw is one where you're making like 12-inch squares of different patterns. That would be an excellent one for scraps. I mean, if you've got like enough for a square, which would be less than a ball of yarn, less than 300 yards or so, or a skein or whatever. Yeah, if it's like one of these, I mean, that's about what those squares take. There's also the colorful cabled throw, where I purposefully used different colors and changed colors as the texture changed. And you can just choose to change the color even more than, or just limit the texture by how much yarn you have. So I hope that's helpful. Hats are a good way to use up a lot of extra. And again, if you have cotton, dishcloths are the way to go. And you can make them all kinds of different colors, and your pots and pans aren't going to care, I promise you. And the color's going to wash out anyway. So hopefully that'll give you some ideas, Deborah. And that's great that you went through and, found all that yarn. So, and she wants to know what's a good size. Again, it just depends on, what you want to do. If you're making something with squares now, you really can't go wrong on that, because you can even use up the tiniest of scraps if you're doing like little granny square things. And you can always connect, big squares with little squares and make it, kind of a puzzle as you're putting it together. There's a lot of things you can do. So I hope that answers your question. But that's a great question. I like that. I recently, actually, not recently, but yeah, I guess it was sort of recently. I distributed my yarn into bins, and I always keep a bin of yarn for giveaway, yarn that's perfectly good and fine. And yesterday I had the follow up class of absolute beginners that I taught, mom daughter class from our church, and we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. And a couple of the moms are learning to crochet, and the daughters as well. So that was really a lot of fun to have. And so what I've done is, when I have a lot of paint box yarn that are just left over from major projects, and I will put it in a bin thinking that if I need to draw from it I can. But I always bring that out for the beginners, because this was just a kind of donated time and everything. And I'm like, okay, here are the hooks. Here, pick one of these balls of yarn, whichever you want. And they were all kind of new paint box yarns that I had left over, and go to town. And that's all it took, and we had a blast. Speaking of classes, I think I gave you wrong information last week. I'm going to be teaching a class this Saturday at So Original in Columbia, Maryland. I was going to say Olney, Maryland, because she used to be in Olney for so many years, but it's in Columbia, Maryland, on 6655 Dobbin Road, Suite A, for those of you in the Columbia, Maryland area, or even the greater Washington, D.C. area. It's not that far, and it's right off of really off of 32, which is not far from I-95. So it's fairly easy to get to. They're going to have a book signing before the class. I'm going to have a book signing. This is February 11th on Saturday from 10 to 11. And I'm going to bring a sampling of all my books if anybody wants to sign those. We're particularly featuring my beginning book, which I'll bring it out here. The purpose of the book signing was to feature my, this is Bonnie's Book of Beginning Crochet. I know the title's kind of hard to see, but this is my beginning crochet book. It's filled with 18 designs, lots of preliminary information about getting started, but I tried to distill it down to only what's important, because I didn't want my new students to feel overwhelmed by having to read an encyclopedia first and learn terms that I had still to this day have never needed to learn. I just think that sometimes those books can stifle learning, because it just overwhelms the poor crocheter who just wants to start. They don't need to have a collegiate degree in crochet. They just want to start. But we start out on very basics, like pot holders and beginner hats, and all of the patterns have 2 QR codes that will take you immediately to the complete video tutorial for all these designs. There's one for the right-handed, and then I tried to separate these so that you can go to the correct one. And then up here we have one for the left-handed people in our world who are actually, I think, the smarter bunch, because they have had to adapt to a right-handed world their whole life and somehow managed to survive. So anyway, lots of fun designs, and I do progress in the book with them, because I don't think a beginner crocheter should have to do the same old pattern for 20 years before they advance. I think that as soon as they know how to do even stitches, I think they need to keep it interesting, and I think just keep growing the skills. Don't wait around, just learn the next thing, and that's what this book tries to do. So anyway, featuring that book, but I will have the other book, a few of the other books there as well. Let's see. Hannah sent me a question from Lynn. She says, for the new Afghan, what paint box, yarn, weight, and color do we need to have? Well, honestly, Lynn, you can pick any color you like. I'm going to be using, this is paint box yarns, the Simply Aran. This is the number 4 weight. Okay. And the color number, it's funny because they put the name on the website, and then when you get the ball of yarn, it just has a number. The color is number 233. It's I think it's called Sea Blue or something like. I really don't remember, but it's 233 on the number. If you want the same color, feel free to change it up. And I just wanted to say I was talking about turkey for just a little bit ago, just to let you know. Yeah, that's been on my mind. I don't watch a lot of visual news because I just can't handle it. But yeah, just to let you all know, Turkey is in our thoughts, especially, I heard the news and, I saw a lot of evidence from history in that area where I got to visit the ancient city of Ephesus, and a lot of the damage done to that over the years, although it's remarkably in great shape, a lot of that was due to earthquakes. So it's a very earthquake prone region. But yeah, they are definitely on our hearts and prayers. And just to let you know, thank you for the past. We've been supporting Samaritan's Purse, and we've been able to donate significantly through the channel to that organization. And I was just really encouraged to hear that they have a hospital en route right now to that or to that location. So thank you for your support, and your support of this channel and what I do. Does help us to help again in a small way, but we are able to help that there. So um, yeah, Hannah, yeah, we can definitely do that. Um, I think I will. Yeah, the next time um, we meet our goal, I'll definitely match the goal with an additional 100 towards Samaritan's Purse for Turkey. Yeah, we had been, we always basically give wherever needed most, and recently it's been more domestically with the flooding that we've had in the States. But yeah, we could definitely do that, Hannah. Thank you for reminding me. I'll go ahead and do another match with the next donation going out for Turkey and Syria. Yeah. Mm. It's one thing to hear, whew, to hear about these places, but then to have been there, it's like I've seen these people. So it's just yeah, it just kind of gut punch you a little bit more when you've actually been there. Um, oh, thank you, Sheila. Thank you. So Sheila just again, I am not soliciting, but you guys do whatever. But thank you, Sheila. I appreciate. So that brings us up to $30. So we're well on our way. Um, and Sue Barton says, I'm looking for different corner to corner easy blankets for 1 meter square blankets to do for missionaries, if you can help. I I have one corner to corner baby blanket on my channel, but that's about it, Sue. I do have other baby blankets that you could make to those sizes. And if you ever are wanting to make my baby blankets, most of them, maybe not all, but I think most. Oh my goodness, is that another? Grace, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, Grace just donated another 19.99. I'm going to round that up to 20. So we're up to 50, guys. Wow, thank you so much. Um, Another question Hannah sent me from Deborah says, I've been crocheting for over 50 years. I've done doilies, tablecloths, blankets, baby items, etc. I'm awful at trying to make a simple front open sweater. Any suggestions? Hmm. Um, I have the Orlaith. I know I'm saying that wrong, but robe sweater on my site. I'm not saying that you need to make that one per se, but if you want to watch that video just to get a feel for how the sweaters are constructed, I don't have videos for cardigans. That's what you're looking for. Other than that, I don't have a video per se to a cardigan sweater. But yeah, those can be a little tricky. I haven't made another one in a while simply because they're intimidating to people and they don't like to watch the videos. So they take an awful lot of time to produce, and they don't go over very well. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Hannah. So, um, but one suggestion that I would say in making any sweater, whether it's a pullover sweater, a summer top, or anything like that, I always emphasize, I repeat myself again and again, because that's what teachers do, is I say, whatever you do, have a shirt, sweater, whatever that you love nearby and always measure against that. And what I would say, what I would say, Deborah, is feel free to tinker with the number of stitches, especially if it's an easy repeat. Don't feel like the pattern is king and you have to submit to the pattern. You don't. I would have your favorite like item handy, and then just continually get out a measuring thing, measure it, lay it down on the bed, put the swatches, the pieces right up against that sweater that you love. That is the best way to get the size that you want. And that goes for just about anything. I know that's maybe unscientific way to answer that, but it works. It works. It works. It works. And that's how I size sweaters for me. I centralize it on, whether I'm a medium or a large. That does vary. um, but you do get the actual measurements of what I've done. But I find a sweater that's well made that I love, and I kind of steal the measurements from that. And that's what I go by for the initial make. And then I adjust, the rows and the length and width for various sizes mathematically from that point on. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah just sent a really encouraging word from Gabriel. She said, "Hello, I just wanted to give my thanks. I've made the woodland cable wrap for my mother. It's beautiful, gorgeous project, and it was so fun to do." Yay, Gabriel! I'm so glad you like that one. That's one of my favorites as well. I need to take it out and wear it more. It's on the heavier side, but I really really enjoyed that. And just to let you all know, that's one pattern that's not on my public channel. That one is on my watch channel. I keep it. It's one of those designs that I am trying to keep safe from being stolen from thieves online. And that's the thing that happens. We're not going to talk a lot about that because we're not going to give the bad guys press time. But, that's another reason for the watch channel is I'm trying to develop more stitching, more different kinds of stitch work. And I want to keep it safe for a little while before it gets stolen and yeah, whatever. Beach Girl, thank you so much. Goodness, we are up to $60. Good grief. That's a wonderful, thank you. You guys are super generous. I need to get back to finding out who else is in the chat here. Hannah's sending me more. Thank you, Hannah. You're doing a great job today, my girl. What time is it? All right, we're good. And Donna says, "I love the crochet version. Thank you for the smiles." Oh, thank you, Donna. I'm still back on the song comments. Thanks for encouraging my administrator, Judy. Yes, she is Hannah's the girl. Oh, and Heidi says that's the first time you've caught the live. So glad you could join us, Heidi. There's so much to talk about, and I always like to try to encourage, interact with you guys. And Sandra, she says, join the live from the UK. Yay. And Beach Girl, okay, that was the question about the yarn. Yeah, definitely, Beach Girl, definitely email me, bonniebay@me.com. The email is in the video description as well. So I want to look into those yarns after the live and later on today. We have Jet One In. Welcome. I think you're new to the chat. I don't remember seeing that. Welcome, welcome. Always glad to have new people. Thank you, Beth. She said, consider the kitty scratched. Aw. I got to meet Beth back at the Pittsburgh festival. I haven't heard from them yet, but it looks like I haven't signed the contract yet. So it's not written in stone. Nothing is ever written in stone, but um, it looks like I'm going to be teaching at the Interweave Conference in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I'm really excited about that because I'll be able to bring more equipment with me. Hoping to do a music program in the marketplace. Um, we've talked about doing that, but if the contract goes through, I'm going to be teaching about 8 classes. I'm going to be busy. So, but that again hasn't been signed yet. I need to wait for the contract to be absolutely positively in. Um, but looking forward to that. It's going to be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The that's like Amish country. In case those of you who've never been there, it's beautiful there. The farmland, the horses. It's really lovely. Um, and that's going to be the first week in August. So it's going to be warm, but it's just a few hours drive from my home. So I'll be able to load the car with my musical equipment, my amp, and and other goodies, hopefully for my classes that I'll be teaching. And so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Whew. Um, all right. We got lots going on in the chat. Oh, we have Chris from Oregon and Christine Ashley. So good to have you in the chat, ladies. And Steph and Chris. She said, "Love your shawl." Oh, I didn't talk about my shawl. This I showed this to you last week. This is the Palatial Prisms shawl, and I just loved working with this yarn. It's hand dyed Donegal wood. Donegal meaning. Let me show you. It has these little flecks of color. It's probably hard to see, but it's just really fun. So this will be going live on Monday on the YouTube channel. It's already been up for a while on the Watch channel. And again, Brenda, thank you for contacting me today about that. So this goes live on Monday. The pattern is up in the Lovecraft store if you're interested in that. And if you buy the pattern, like even now, the video will be available. Now, the night before the video goes live, the video may disappear because it becomes private until it's released on Monday. But that's probably don't need to know all that. But this will be coming Monday. And I'll have the pattern both in my Etsy store and in my Lovecraft store by the time that happens. And the yarn, again, is from the Leither, Leither, Leither Company. And you can look in the video description below. I used 2 hanks on this one. Excuse me. And I think the hanks are like $26 each, which is actually, I know that sounds a lot if only, if you're only buying, acrylic. But this is superwash merino blend of some sort. I think it's yeah, it's a superwash merino Donegal blend. And again, it was delightful. It's always fun for me to meet the people. I met them at the CGOA conference in New Orleans. A lovely couple, and this is their livelihood. So we're just really happy to support them any way we can. Oh, we have Susan in the chat. She says, "Hi, I'm from Scotland. I did a little crochet squares for a blanket. I do knitting for a hobby. I make my own jumpers," which some people may not know this, but that's another word for like pullover sweaters. I think it's more of a British term or a UK term. She says, "When I was younger, I loved all the different kinds of wool, especially random wool." Yeah, I love learning about wool. And Susan, that's a good segue right into what I wanted to show folks. I have some new yarn. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I got some from Universal Yarn. This is a new line that they've come out with. It's called Yarn Vibes. And this is, the yarn line is Cliffs of Moher. And if anybody knows, that's right off the coast of Ireland as you look out towards the Aran Isles, which has been the inspiration for my work for many, many years. And this color is called, obviously, emerald. And when I was smitten when just with the name of this, and then it's 100% Irish wool. And let me read you Universal's information on it. Says yarn vibes Cliffs of Moher, Universal Yarn. Okay, this yarn is spun and dyed in Kilcar Company, Donegal, by Donegal Yarns, one of the last remaining traditional woolen mills left in Ireland. Their master wool specialist discovered that by blending 60% pure Irish wool with 40% virgin merino wool, they could create a knitting yarn with a softer hand and feel while preserving all the beloved characteristics of a traditional Irish wool. Okay, so I just wanted to read that descriptive, and each of these is 100 grams, 164 yards, and this is a medium weight, or number 4. And if you have never had or touched 100% pure Irish wool, or even this blend, just know that this is not super super soft at all. Just to be clear, it's not super wash, which is a process I'm going to try to talk more about in the yarn series videos as I release them when I can. But the this is the real deal, and this is how do I say this? It's rustic. Okay, it is rustic, but there are good reasons for this kind of wool. This is probably not going to pill, or not much. This is the stuff that they like to use for the outer, like the sweaters and things. Has so many benefits, but just know that if you do try this, this is not the soft as a baby's bottom kind of yarn at all. This is much more a rugged, meant for you know long time usage. And I think it's going to be what also is nice about this is it's probably, I haven't crocheted with it yet, but yarns like this tend to have a better stitch definition, and which lends itself well to the Aran Isles style. So I'm going to be talking more about this. I'm going to be swatching it. I'm going to be designing something with it. So that'll all be coming soon. I'll be doing an unboxing on my channel in the weeks to come, and show you all the other colors that it comes with. So stay tuned for that, and I'll give you my thumbs up, thumbs down, just, whatever. But as soon as I opened this, it reminded me a lot of some of the wool that I brought back that was Irish wool when I was in Ireland back in 2012. Kelly wants to know, have I ever crocheted a pattern from t-shirt? I may have used a t-shirt that fits me well as a guide for how I wanted something to fit me, Kelly. If that answers your question, but I don't per se have patterns for crochet t-shirts. I don't think that's what you're asking, but if that makes sense. Let me see, what else have I covered? That. Oh, okay. And if any of you guys haven't seen if you haven't had a chance to take a look at my website, bonniebaycrochet.com, in a while, it does have a new look. I let everybody know last week that it has been updated. It is safer, more secure, and you can also set your preferences. If it's the first time you've been on there, or first time in a while, or first time since I updated it, you're going to be asked a question at the beginning about your cookies preferences. So that is a required by international law kind of thing, which is one reason we needed to update that. And that just lets you to set your preferences. But just again, just a reminder that I don't sell information. I don't sell people's information from the newsletter or anything to anybody. I don't talk. I keep that information for our company only, and that does not go to other organizations, period. So just to let you know that if you see that little thing there, definitely, set your preferences. That's why it's there. And again, it's a more secure environment now, and we're hoping to add a store in the future. We just have a lot of work to do before we can do that, but we are working on it behind the scenes. All right, so let me see. Who do we? Okay, we're doing okay on time today. That's shocking. Oh, we have Heidi from Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Wow. And Pat Dancer and Beverly from Texas. And yeah, I just want to make sure if we have anybody new. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Howard. Henry says, Happy St. Patrick Star Day. Is that a thing? I wouldn't be surprised if they have Chocolate Donut Day. They probably have that too. But yeah, thanks for the reminder. I am looking forward to St. Patrick's Day. Just to let you know, I still have the Kiss Me I'm Irish green scarf with the cables. It's an asymmetrical scarf if you're looking for something for from St. Patrick's Day. The yarn that I used for that, the manufacturer, the lady is no longer in business. Oh, Lynn, thank you, my dear. Let me go ahead and add that. Lynn, thank you so much. You've bumped this up. You guys are gonna have to. You may have to hear another song next week if this keeps up. um, so that wow, we're up to $80 already. Thank you, Lynn, so much. Um, but yeah, if you guys are looking for a St. Patrick's Day kind of thing, I mean, you can just always look on Etsy for some of these beautiful emerald, gorgeous dyed yarns if you're looking for. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, got your message, Hannah. Um, yeah, and Terry was saying destined time for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, okay. I'm tracking now. This yarn. Yeah, absolutely. It's St. Patrick's Day around here all the time. Uh, what a great guy. What a great man to study the history of too. And I love his story. If you haven't heard, he's much more than what the legends say. I mean, the real story of St. Patrick is pretty neat. And what's really cool about it, I just to get a little specific, is and St. Patrick's is not just for, let's say, Catholic religion, but St. Patrick and all that he did was before the Reformation. So I mean, this can be celebrated, I think, by everybody. Not trying to split hairs here or anything, but yeah, I mean, that's back when the church was all under one umbrella, and or at least the known church in the West, and it's just so cool that the person who was kidnapped and taken by pirates to Ireland and then later escaped and went back to England in a nutshell, and then he that's a story in a nutshell, and then he later became a Christian in England, and wanted to tell others about the faith, and so he went right back to the people who kidnapped him to that country to live out his life in telling them about the message and hope of the gospel. And at the time, most of the people, if I know I'm not filling in all the gaps, but most of the time, the people back then were like druids and worshiping trees and stuff like that. So it's quite remarkable that the person, the people that meant him harm are the people he went to serve his whole life. So I just think that's a beautiful untold story. Um, and Tammy wants to know, can I ask where the doll behind you on your shelf came from? Absolutely. I'm not sure. Here, let me bring both of them. Um, I'm not sure which one you were talking about, so I will tell you a story about both of them. Um, this, even with the messy hair, because my children played with this, I made this when I was about 10 years old. Came from a kit, and this is Goldilocks, and I was supposed to make Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I didn't like the way the heads were coming out on the bears, so I never completed them. So this is Goldilocks, and again, my children played with her as children, and I just kind of hung on to that. And when I was at a craft fair many years ago, this woman made these beautiful African American dolls, and I just loved her work. Let me pull up the skirt a little bit here. She's losing it. um, and she liked my shawls that I was selling, and I loved her dolls. So she let me we I let her pick out a shawl, and she let me pick out a doll, and this is the one I picked out, and I just I just thought her hair was so beautiful, and just all the work, all the stitching that just went into her hair was remarkable, and just the way her hair falls on her face. I just love it. I just thought it was just so beautiful. And I have another similar one made of fabric upstairs, but it's just one of those things. Whenever at craft shows, if the things time gets a little slow and customers aren't coming, the vendors have a really good time talking to each other. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I am going to be signed up. I'm signed up for the Frederick Fiber Festival in April. It's April 22nd. And I'm going to have a table in Frederick, Maryland. I'm going to be selling my books, and I'm going to be selling my samples. I think I did mention this last week. I do have samples of my work, and most of these are the designs that I've designed, have put up on YouTube. It's just that I can't wear everything that I make because I have so many. So I will have many of the original garments that were made on the YouTube videos for sale as well. And whatever is left over, and if, whatever I don't sell there, I may actually have kind of a, offer it to you guys, and do something through PayPal, but we'll get to that later on. So, I am way behind you all. Oh, Isabel, it's so good to Isabella, it's so good to have you from Austria. Yeah, I I have to tell Isabella, I ate my very first Wiener Schnitzel in Austria this past fall, and it was delicious. It was delicious, and I didn't leave anything left behind. I ate the whole thing. It was wonderful. And I did not even know what Wiener Schnitzel was. I thought it was like a sausage or something, but I learned, and it was much better than what I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, that's my Austria memory, Isabella. Um, that and driving on the Autobahn, that was a lot of fun. And Phil wants to know, do you have plans to attend Rhinebeck, New York Fiber Festival in October? Great question, Phil. I should probably look at that. I've never been to Rhinebeck. I don't know what the we've got a lot going on in our family come this fall. A lot that I can't talk about just yet. That's going on behind the scenes, but I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I don't have any current plans to do that, but it's something that I would like to do eventually. So we'll see. I'll look that up and see what's going on with that. But I know it's huge. I know it's wonderful. I've heard my yarn friends talk about it. But thanks for asking about that. And Tammy, thanks for asking that question about the dolls. Um, Let me just okay. And Sheila says Rhinebeck is a beautiful town. Yeah, I've heard it's amazing. I heard it's also hard to get a place to stay during Rhinebeck too. I've heard that it can get expensive and hard to find a room. But yeah. Oh, yay! Archer and Ace. Terry says Beth and I just got our memberships for Lancaster, PA in August. Yay! That'll be great. Maybe we'll get to see each other. Again, I don't know what's happening in Pittsburgh yet, so don't know what's going on there. Um, oh, Phil says it's 45 miles from my home, so I may attend. Wow, well that's a no-brainer. I would definitely go if I was 45 miles away. That's like me attending the. Well, I will tell you all, in case you guys are in the area, if you are in Maryland or in Pennsylvania, Delaware, Washington, D.C., the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival is always the first weekend in May. Always, always, always. Even if it's raining cats and dogs like it was last year. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be going to have a book signing on a Saturday morning, probably like 10 to 11. Uh, yeah. I don't even have the date yet, but it's Saturday. It's the first Saturday in May, and that's at the Howard County Fairgrounds in Maryland. And that's the biggest festival I've ever been to. There are so many vendors, just hundreds and hundreds of vendors at that one. It's absolutely crazy. And lots of people come to that. It's the parking lot reminds me of going to an NFL game. It's just fields and fields and just of cars everywhere. but the Boy Scouts and others volunteer and they do the parking with us, and it's really good. It's only like a $5 donation to get in, which really does help the organization. It's not, a crazy price or anything. And it used to be free. It used to be donation only, but now they kind of say, we need the $5 now. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Archer Nation. I think I meant Pittsburgh. Okay. Yeah, I'm still, the jury is still out on Pittsburgh yet for this year, but okay. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. Um, all right. Well, I think yeah, thank you, Hannah. Hannah's doing a lot of work behind the scenes for us today, guys. Thank you. Um, and Terry Redmond. Okay, okay, okay. And Sheila says, I will go to Lancaster Festival. My sister lives there. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I mean, I think it'll be the first time that Interweave has been, Yarn Fest has been there. So it'll be kind of kind of an initial thing. Well, let me go ahead and finish up so Hannah can go get lunch. But thank you guys for sticking around. And if I didn't call on, if I didn't mention you, I apologize. It's not intentional. Um, it There's just so much going on sometimes, and I just have to go with what I'm given in the chat here. But anyway, it's not intentional. If I ignored you, I promise. But I did want to read something to you. This is I meant to read this last week, but I'm glad I saved it till now. This is some of my favorite Psalms. Can you tell I like the Psalms? They just fill me with such hope. And I love it because they're not a bunch of fakes. They're not a bunch of happy fake people in the Psalms. I mean, they cry out to God. When they're hurting, you know it. And I can just so relate to so much of what I read in here. Let me find the right place. Okay, here we go. I want to read to you just to encourage you. Um, Lift our eyes up, above the stuff that takes us down in the world here. And this is from Psalm 84, a psalm of the sons of Korah. And I want to read verses 10 through 12 to close out our time. And they write, for a day, and this is said to God, for a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. Let me read that again. For a day in your courts is a better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the one who trusts in you. Love those verses. Well, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I hope to see you next week. And again, thank you guys for your generosity. God bless. Bye-bye.